Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I'm an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. The world inside Forrester Creations has never been a place where emotions stay simple for long. Beneath the polished glamour, designer rivalries, family loyalties, and complicated romances, feelings often become dangerous territory. And now, it appears yet another woman may be standing at the edge of a life-changing transformation. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that a female character could soon find herself stepping into unfamiliar emotional territory, abandoning the version of herself people have come to know, and revealing a side driven far more by desire than restraint. Somewhere in the chaos of heartbreak, ambition, and temptation, one woman may be preparing to stop putting others first and finally chase after the man she has secretly wanted all along. But in a world where every decision carries consequences, getting what she wants may come with a devastating price attached. The question now is whether she will care enough to stop herself before everything around her begins to crumble. Fans know that Melissa Dillon's feelings for Will Spencer didn't appear overnight. Their connection was born during one of the most vulnerable moments of Dillon's life, when circumstances had pushed her into an incredibly difficult position, and she found herself with nowhere safe to go. At a time when she had been left with almost nothing, Will stepped forward and offered her kindness when she desperately needed it most. Without his help, Dillon would have been forced to continue living inside her car, struggling alone with uncertainty and embarrassment, carrying the crushing weight of knowing she had nowhere to turn. But Will changed that by opening his home to her and offering something far more meaningful than just a spare room. In that simple act of compassion, he unknowingly planted the seeds of something much deeper growing quietly inside Dillon's heart. As the days passed inside the beach house, the bond between Dillon and Will naturally began to deepen. Living under the same roof created countless quiet moments, shared conversations, and small gestures that slowly brought them closer together. For Dillon, every interaction made it harder to ignore the feelings developing inside her. Feelings that were no longer rooted in gratitude alone, but were evolving into genuine romantic affection. But unfortunately, not everyone was comfortable watching that connection unfold. Electra Forrester quickly began noticing the growing closeness between Dillon and Will, and from the very beginning, she hated what she saw. What may have seemed innocent on the surface carried an emotional tension that Electra simply couldn't ignore. And before long, jealousy, suspicion, and frustration began poisoning what had once been a strong friendship. The fallout came hard and fast. What had once been trust and friendship between Dillon and Electra exploded into conflict, tearing apart the bond they had built together. Misunderstandings and emotional wounds left both women standing on opposite sides of a painful divide. And for a while, it looked as though the damage might be permanent. Yet, time has a strange way of softening anger, and eventually, both women managed to find their way back to each other. Against the odds, Dillon and Electra repaired what had been broken, rebuilding their friendship piece by piece until they were able to stand side by side again. Not only did they restore their personal connection, but they even began working together professionally, creating the appearance that the worst had finally passed. For a moment, peace seemed possible again, but in the unpredictable world of Los Angeles power players and complicated romance, peace rarely lasts for long. Behind the scenes, troubling signs are beginning to emerge, and there are growing reasons to believe that the fragile bond Dillon and Electra worked so hard to repair may soon shatter once again. Summer preview spoilers suggest that Will Spencer will soon find himself attracting attention from more than one romantic interest in the coming months, and suddenly, the delicate balance surrounding his love life is beginning to shift. New tensions are already forming, and the emotional storm gathering around him may soon pull everyone involved into dangerous territory. What once felt stable is beginning to crack, and unfortunately, Electra herself may unknowingly be setting the stage for everything to fall apart. Recently, Electra has been struggling with feelings of betrayal surrounding Will and information he kept from her. She has begun questioning whether she can truly trust him after learning about Logan's new jewelry line, along with the stunning Hope for the Future diamond that became the undeniable centerpiece during Hope Logan Spencer's recent launch event. To Electra, this wasn't simply a misunderstanding or harmless secret. She feels Will owed her honesty from the very beginning, and the fact that he withheld important truths has left deep cracks forming in their relationship. The disappointment now hanging between them feels heavier with every passing day. What once looked like a promising romantic future is suddenly spiraling downward at terrifying speed. Their relationship, once filled with possibility, may now be heading straight toward collapse. As conflict continues building between Electra and Will, one person may quietly begin noticing an opportunity emerging from the wreckage. Dylan, despite everything she has done to repair her friendship with Electra, may find herself unable to ignore what her heart still wants most. Watching Electra and Will drift further apart could awaken feelings Dylan thought she had buried, forcing her to confront emotions she never fully let go of. If Will's relationship begins falling apart completely, Dylan may start seeing a path opening directly in front of her, a path leading straight toward the man she has secretly wanted for far longer than anyone realizes. But pursuing him would mean stepping directly into dangerous territory. It would mean risking everything she worked so hard to rebuild with Electra. And that decision could change everything forever. Deep down, Dylan may hate the idea of becoming the reason another friendship is destroyed. She knows better than anyone how painful the previous fallout with Electra had been, and she understands exactly what could happen if history repeats itself. But temptation becomes far more dangerous when someone starts encouraging the very impulses you are trying to suppress. Enter R.J. Forrester, a man who may soon become the catalyst pushing Dylan toward choices she never imagined making. RJ has his own complicated feelings tangled up in this growing drama, feelings he hasn't entirely let go of despite everything that has happened. Deep inside, a part of him still wants Electra for himself, and that may make him far more willing to manipulate the situation unfolding around them. At some point, Dylan may remind RJ of an agreement they once made. A promise to stop dwelling on complicated feelings and focus on moving forward with their lives. In Dylan's mind, reopening old emotional wounds is dangerous, and chasing unavailable people only leads to heartbreak. But RJ may see things very differently. Rather than walking away, he could insist that fate has suddenly delivered both of them the perfect opportunity. If Electra and Will are falling apart, then maybe neither he nor Dylan should ignore what is standing directly in front of them. For RJ, this isn't simply coincidence. He may believe life is presenting both of them with a second chance to go after the people they truly want. And that is where everything could begin changing for Dylan. RJ may start whispering dangerous encouragement into her ear, urging her to stop being passive and finally fight for the man her heart has chosen. Instead of stepping aside for Electra's happiness, he may push Dylan toward becoming far more assertive, far bolder, and far less concerned about protecting friendships if it means losing her own chance at happiness. The gentle, understanding version of Dylan viewers have known may begin fading into the background as a far more confident and aggressive side starts emerging. For the first time, Dylan may stop worrying about who gets hurt and focus entirely on what she wants. And that transformation could shock everyone around her. If these feelings continue growing stronger, Dylan may begin evolving into an entirely different kind of woman. A far more dangerous and seductive force, stepping into what many might describe as a true vixen persona. Her old restraint may disappear as buried feelings for Will resurface stronger than ever, pushing her toward actively pursuing him rather than silently watching from the sidelines. The emotional stakes surrounding this transformation would be enormous, because every move Dylan makes toward Will would come at tremendous personal cost. Electra would almost certainly view it as betrayal all over again, reopening wounds that never fully healed in the first place. Years of trust, forgiveness, and repaired friendship could vanish in an instant. And this time, the damage might be far beyond repair. The consequences would extend far beyond friendship alone. If Dylan chooses desire over loyalty and allows her pursuit of Will to destroy her working relationship with Electra, the professional fallout could be just as devastating. Her future at Forrester Creations could suddenly hang by a thread, forcing her to confront painful choices about where she belongs moving forward. If tensions escalate beyond repair, some believe Dylan could ultimately become the next person to walk away from Forrester entirely and align herself with Logan, creating yet another major shift inside the company's already volatile internal dynamics. The fallout from one emotional decision could ripple through personal relationships, careers, alliances, and rivalries in ways nobody fully expects. What begins as love could quickly transform into complete upheaval. As the storm quietly builds around Dylan, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. She now stands at a crossroads where every decision carries enormous consequences, and the path she chooses next may redefine her future forever. Will she remain loyal to the friendship she fought so hard to repair with Electra, protecting the fragile peace they managed to rebuild after so much damage had already been done? Or will desire finally overpower loyalty, pushing her to pursue Will Spencer, regardless of who gets hurt along the way? One choice protects the life she knows. The other risks destroying nearly everything she has built. And according to the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Dylan is about to face some incredibly important decisions about the road ahead. Whatever happens next, shocking developments are coming, and when they arrive, nothing may ever be the same again.